Hello all, welcome to this particular SAS Programming Master Classes. And today I'm going to talk about the introduction to your SAS software. So here I'm just to introduce myself. I'm Naidu. I'm a SAS trainer and programmer with a 15 plus years of domain experience working as a programmer and as well as trainer. So I do use giving training from many years. So this is just give my brief introduction. And so let me just move on to the next. So, introduction to SAS programming. The agenda of today is I'll try to explain the SAS course details, what you are going to get it. Then followed by the different windows, what we have in SAS. Then how to write a simple program using SAS. And what are the different keyboard shortcuts we need to keep in mind. What a SAS programmer really do in real time. A simple task for today. I'll try to add you the task also. And some question and answers after this PowerPoint presentation. So this is briefly about the today's class and the agenda. And so now the course details wise, if you just see, so this particular course is nothing but SAS full course. This is an instructor led training. That means I'm the instructor for you. So I'm going to teach all this particular content, whatever is there. This particular full course, why I'm saying it as a full course means this is the only course you need to learn if you want to jump your career into a clinical SAS programming, or you want to jump your career or maybe start your career into a financial programming, customer relationship management, where somewhere you are using SAS. Let it be any organization with the different sectors. This is the only course you need to be focused. That's the reason why we call this as a full course. Everything is covered in it. Now let me just go for the classification of this particular class into two pieces. One is part 1 and second one is part 2. Part 1 is nothing but your base and advanced syllabus. Whatever is required, I'll try to give you here. So with this, you are going to prepare for your certification exams. Once I'm done with my part 1 training, so that you will be able to apply for certifications. You can able to clear your certifications. When coming to here, part 2 training, it's all about your project related training. So there you are going to learn about some project related stuff with all the aspects. It can be a clinical or banking, customer relationship management, plus the extra knowledge is required because mainly for a clinical SAS programmer in the market, they need this particular CDISC, SDTM, TLFs and all. And at the end of the syllabus, we do have a resume preparation, mock interview, and as well as job assistance also included on it. So this is briefly about the part 1 and part 2. You don't need to pay separately for part 1 and part 2. So the total fee what you're paying for, it's combining of both part 1 and part 2. And the next one is here. So the first part, I'm going to teach almost like 40 hours of time. It will take it. It's a total training. And within this 40 hours, you are going to learn, or maybe you are able to apply for different certifications like SAS Certified Associate Programming Fundamentals using SAS 9.4. That is one type of certification. SAS Certified Specialist Base Programming using SAS 9.4. SAS Certified Professional Advanced Programming using SAS 9.4. SAS Certified Clinical Trial Programmer using SAS 9. All these 4 certifications we can do with this particular your part 1 training. Once you're done with the part 1, either of these certificates we can do. But the limitation is first you need to have a base SAS certification, then only you can able to clear your advanced SAS certification. So now the question is, most of you, Naidu, is it really required to have 4 certificates in the hand? Actually speaking, no. Either of one certificate in your hand That's making sense. Let's have my suggestion for everyone: go for SAS certified specialist based programming using SAS 9.4. It's enough. What these certifications really do is it is just a proof of that you are a certified SAS programmer in the market. No matter which background you are from microbiology, biotechnology, biochemistry, whichever the background you are from, once you're done with this particular certification, so that you are eligible to apply the jobs into the market. India, it is a bit of okay if you don't have the certification, but abroad, mainly US and UK, Singapore, and remaining countries, so certificate is mandatory. Otherwise, they'll not consider that how you belongs to this course. So at least try to complete one certificate that's meaningful. And my training is completely helpful for you. The part one training is completely helpful for you. Either of these certifications you can clear without any pain points. Very smooth, everything you can able to do. 80% of my students are completing the certifications. Why 80 means remaining 20% they are not writing the exams at all, but the 80% whoever is writing it, 100% guarantee that you'll be able to clear your certifications. So there is no doubt on certifications, because my interest in this particular total training is to train you to be keeping some experience in your resume. We try to give you the training a bit of advanced level, starting from scratch, starting from zero onwards, until advanced level of SAS programming we are trying to uh, give you here. So that's the reason why certificate is a bit of a fresher level stuff, which you can easily do it. So once you're done with this particular training of part one, in the part two is going to be all the project related training, then followed by 45 hours of this particular training it requires. So then, so this is all about your project training. So in this particular course of the total all the days, part one plus part two including, and whatever you have paid for both these particular parts. Here go for, so this particular part one training by me, so I'm going to give you this particular training. So the first 40 hours of training completely with me, and the next 40 hours of training or 45 hours of training with Shiva. So this is the total the course what we try to give you, and this is about all the guidelines. So before we proceed further, silence saying no questions, let me just move on to the next. Okay, so this particular course details, if you just see this SAS course of 85 hours daily, 1 hour, 30 minutes per day, so around 58 days excluding weekends. So this is total, what I can say that is the duration of this particular course. 85 hours of time, roughly around 3 months of your time will try to take. And we are coming to here daily 1.5 hour class. The timings also fixed. It's the same time every time. It's a 7 a.m. of Indian Standard Time to 8:30 a.m. of Indian Standard Time. I'm in India, so the time will be fixed. The training days like Monday to Friday. So every day we try to take this particular training from Monday to Friday of US Standard Time. So people who are in India, this is going to be Tuesday. This is actually Monday night, right? In US. So the same thing, Tuesday morning for India people, whoever is just there. So India morning, Tuesday to Saturday, you will have a class. But people who are in US, it's a Monday to Friday. What I will offer as materials in this, like recording videos, software, and materials, everything will be provided. I'll just move to the next. Okay, so we'll just come to starting off our SAS journey here. So the definition of SAS and history, if you see, SAS means it's a statistical analysis software or system. We can call it as any way. Okay, so SAS means it's a statistical analysis software or system. It's developed in 1970s in North Carolina State University. That means it's developed in US itself. So they developed this one. So SAS is born in US, and mostly you can see in the North Carolina state. So there in the mainly in the North Carolina, there are a lot of SAS programming opportunities are there, because there are a lot of SAS companies are available there who are using SAS and all. Yeah. So it's in North Carolina 1970s it's developed. Why they have developed in 1970s? Mainly for few of the scientists, they have done some experiments on agriculture fields, and based on that they got some data. Okay, so that data they want to do the analysis. That's the reason why they started using this particular SAS as a small statistical model in 1970s. Okay, that's the reason why this is how it is originated. The idea is originated in that particular time for data analysis. If you just talk about now, this is most widely used software right now in the market, in clinical, banking, customer relationship management, insurance companies, healthcare. In many places, we are using SAS as a powerful reporting tool. Jim Goodnight is the founder of this particular SAS institute. So this is briefly about this particular the slide. So you don't need to learn more than this for the history wise for SAS programmer. You need to know SAS. The definition means it's a statistical analysis software or system. But now in the officially they have mentioned in the website itself, there is no definition for SAS. SAS itself, it is a brand. You don't need to call it as a statistical analysis software or system. This is a golden definition. Nowadays, they are clearly saying we don't need to call that as a SAS means statistical analysis software or system. So we can call it as a SAS. That's enough. And so this is about the total history and as well as the definition of SAS. And now I'll just move on to the next slide. In SAS, there are some windows. How many windows we have? There are 5 windows in SAS. Let me just open SAS first, then I'll try to talk about this one. I have the SAS software already installed in my computer. So what you can do is go to your desktop here. So here my SAS software is already here. Let me try to open it. See, once I open it, so I can see the software something like this. So this is the first time you're just looking into the software. You see there are some windows in it. Windows means different tabs right now. You can see this is one tab, this is one tab, this is one tab, this is one tab, and this is one tab. So total 5 tabs, nothing but 5 windows in SAS. Each window have some significance. So let me try to talk about what is editor window. So this is called SAS editor. Writes a new program in it, access and edit existing SAS programs, save SAS program files, and submitting of your programs. All these 4 things we can do with this editor. What does that means? Let me try to open. Okay, I can write a code if I want it. What is the code? I don't know what to write, but simply I'm just trying to write it here. What I will do is, let me try writing a simple program here so that you will get an idea. So whatever the program, generally why to write a program? Program is trying to tell me what your requirement is. Let's take a data. Suppose imagine client has given some data. Maybe client has done some clinical trial, or maybe client has done some what I can say that survey, and they got some data. They want to analyze that data. Let's imagine this is the data I have it, what client has given to me. So try to understand the purpose of the programmer. Generally, what programmer is do. They got a data. So whatever the data they got it, it can be Excel or text file or somewhere. It's outside in the data, imported into SAS environment. This is how the SAS data is looks like. You just see that. So there we have status wise people who are dead, and people who are dead, they have their death causes, and people who are the age at diagnosis time when they are particular disease what they have it. So maybe what is the diagnosis time, and sex variable. Okay, variable means column name, we call it as a SAS as a variable. This particular rows are called observations. So rows are called observations in SAS, columns are called variables. So status is one column, Death cause is one column, sex is one column, height is one column, weight, diastolic blood pressure, systolic blood pressure, maybe. So here smoking status, like many things are there here. Now their requirement is very simple. Okay, what they're asking is number of people who died. Just think about this one. They have given all the 5,000 plus data to me right now. You just see 5,000 plus data, but they are specifically looking for people who are dead, having a cancer, people who are male, where age above 60 years, who are very heavy smokers. They want it. Understand what they wanted? The requirement is we have a data. Okay, so now to get that achieved, okay, to that requirement, what is that requirement? People who are dead with cancer, with age, sex is male, age 60 above, and very heavy smokers. I want to get all this particular alignment ready. I can do one thing. I can manually check it and I can filter it and I can do it right now. Imagine right now 5,000 members data. Maybe client may push in the database. Okay, another 5,000 plus records, they pushed it. That time they're asking me to generate it. If I manually done something, some changes to my data to filter and all, so that when they are just pushing the data again, that time what happened? Again, I need to do a manual work. Instead of that, if you could written some program, that program you try to save it, that program automatically do the job. Even when they are pushing a new data, you just rerun your program automatically, whatever you try to get these particular requirements ready, and you will be able to get that output. So we need to write a program. See, whatever the requirement, I know the requirement right now. I need a people. The client means the person who is spending for you, or maybe the person who is giving a job to you. We call it as a client. So when client is a client requirement itself, they need all the people with dead, with having a cancer, having a males, and definitely the person age is above 60 years, and person is very heavy smokers. We know that is just in a Word document, they clearly mentioned the requirement is. Okay. So my scenario one, they have given a small scenario. Scenario one, they have mentioned it. All these particular things like a written document they sent to us. Now our job is to understand that particular written document. We need to write a program to achieve that. How you can achieve? You will try to write a program. What you will write the program? You will try to write it in the editor window. How you write it? We can just write, let's say, a simple program. I'll try to just to show you. Proc means I'm writing, okay? Proc means it's a procedure. Print means I'm telling my SAS to print it. Data equal to your data set name. What is the data set name? Whatever client has given a data to me, where it is available in the SAS help folder with the name of heart. Then I'll try to tell to my SAS as SAS help, okay, dot is required because I need to mention that particular data set. Heart is the data set. This is the red ball color symbol. We call it as a data set. Data set is nothing but collection of columns and rows. We call it as a data set. So the data set is available in SAS help library. To mention that, I mentioned the dot, and the data set name heart, I'll try to mention it. Semicolon and run. If I do these two lines of code, if I write it, what happen? It is trying to give me the total output, whatever is there in the output, it is trying to print. All the 5,000 records it is printing. It is not filtering for the records what client requires. We are not just doing that. People who are dead, alive, all the people data I'm getting it. No, they clearly mentioned it. They wanted all the people dead with cancer, sex is male and age 60 above, and very heavy smokers only required. That's what the requirement is. What you do is, you'll try to write a small program saying it where means just looking for the condition. What is the condition? They clearly mentioned it. Go for it again. Status is the column which is there with me. This is my status column. You double click on this particular column name. The column name will pick up. Okay, status equal to, okay, if I try to write it where status equal to quotations, because you need to write it in a quotations because it's a character data. That means all the values like dead, alive are like a text containing a data. You want to filter it, you need to write it in a quotations. So all the people dead is required. You try to just copy semicolon and write. Imagine if I write it only status equal to dead, what happens? I want to see. Earlier, what happened? It used to print people dead, alive, all also we used to get it. But now I'm writing it something called prop print data equal to sashelp.heart, where status equal to dead. I'm writing it. Now you see all the people who are getting right now, all are dead only. Can you see that? There is no alive people data at all in my data set right now. All the people who are dead only, I'm getting it right now. But not only just filter required only just by status of dead. They need a death cause also. You see that? A variable name called death cause. So death cause variable wise also, they wanted only people who are cancer only, they got it. So they want it. Then we need to write a condition. And why we need to write end? People who are dead and as well as people who are cancer, both also required. That's the reason why I'm trying to write it. And death cause equal to, what is the death cause? You just see what are the possible death causes there in this data. Maybe people with other diseases, people with cancer, people with cerebrovascular disease, people with a coronary heart disease. There are plenty death causes are there. No, they want it specifically people who are with cancer only, they want it. So then I'll try to mention it in a quotations, writing it as a, okay, what I have done. So people who are dead with cancer only, I want it. Let's say execute this piece of code. Is it really working or not? Execute it. Yeah, I'm getting it right now. All the 5,000 plus records containing the data, I'm getting it. All the people who are with dead with cancers, I'm getting it. But at the same time, age at start variable also, or maybe I have any variable called age at death. Yeah, so I have age at death. You see that the variable called age at death, variable wise, any person age died 60 years above. Okay, we wanted a condition. So now I'll try to check what is it column name. Again, I'll go to this particular data. So here, age at death is the variable which is already there with me. I'll try to copy this one. I'll try to come to SAS, and what I wanted, people who are age at death, okay, when it is greater than, that is your GT, you can write it if you want it, or else you can write it greater than sign also. Age at death greater than 60 years, I want it. Check this condition right now, what it is trying to tell me. Now all the people, whoever is displaying it right now, all the people of my age death is 60 above only you are getting it. People who are dead, having a cancer, age while they are at the death, so all are 60 above people only we are getting it. But not only that, we need very heavy smokers. That means you see in this particular data, this particular survey data, people who are light, that means it is a smoking status light means 1 to 5 cigarettes per day. And people who are moderate means 6 to 15 cigarettes per day. And people who are very heavy smokers also we have a category 16 to 25 cigarettes per day. And people who are very heavy smokers about 25 years, about 25 cigarettes per day. So what they want it is very heavy smokers data only we want it in this condition. So now I can tell to my SAS by just mentioning it, where status equal to dead, death cause equal to cancer, age is greater than 60 years, and what is that another condition what we want it right now? Go to your data, go to your odd data set wise, smoking is the variable which is there with me. Where is that? Smoking status. You see that? The column name called smoking status. Double click on it. Semicolon. Okay. Then you just see right now. So this is your smoking status. Smoking status equal to what they wanted. They wanted all the people who are heavy smokers only required. If you carefully see, 60 I have not written in a quotations because it's a numerical data. I don't need to write in a quotations. But again, dead I have written in a quotations because it's a character data. Cancer I have written, it's a character data. And smoking status also required in a quotations. Okay. Now you just see. So this is what we wanted. I'm just trying to write it. Done. So now this is the data what I got it. Can you see this one? What happened? People who are dead, cancer, and male. Did I filter for male? I have not filtered for a male right now. Let me try to filter for male also. Do you think that I have a female's data also somewhere? Yes, I have a females also. But I need only the male's data only required. I'll do one thing. I'll try to write it with this particular condition and x equal to, as I know that variable name, I'll try to write it male, male. That's it, I'm done. So if I want it, I can split this particular code into two pieces so that two lines of code I got it. So now if I execute it, run the program, see, I have a people who are dead, who are cancer, having a male, and age is 60, age at death is 60 above, and people very heavy smokers list, I got it. How many of them? Something like around 70 members are there in the data. 70 observations means 70 rows are created. One patient, one record. Like that, 70 rows are created. Yeah, this is what we got it. Okay, so this is what we are getting it. So now client requirement is okay, whatever the output you are getting it right now, that's fine. My requirement is created and that's fine. I need to get that as an output. So then what I can say, I need to give a title. So title, I'm writing as a, this is, title is the statement I try to write it to get the title. Right now you see in the output, the SAS system is the title, I'm getting it. I don't need that. I need to write it. This is client data of 2024. Just imagine. So this is the title I want to write it. Execute it. Check it. Yes, this is client data of 2024. I'm getting it. Apart from that, you don't need the system date and time and all. By default, you are getting it. You don't want it any of those. Then I can tell to my SAS options, no date, I'm writing it. No date. D-A-T. No date. Because right now I'm getting output with date, but client not interested to have the date. Yeah. I'm getting the page numbers also. You see that? 276 is the page number. Even the page number also I don't want it. I can tell to my SAS no number because client not interested to have the page numbers also in the output. Okay, I'm getting it nice and clean. I got a title and I got some footnotes also, some footers. If you want this footer also, we can create it. I can write a statement saying it as a footnote. Within a footnote, I can tell that thank you is the footnote I want to write it. I don't want to write anything confusing one here. Thank you is another footnote. What it is trying to do is when you execute it, you see that thank you footnote, I got it, and as well as the title. This is client data of 2024. Also, I'm getting it. Nice. Everything what I'm getting it right now making sense. But right now you are getting output in output window. What client interest is, let's create this particular output, whatever you have created, share with me in the form of a PDF document. If they ask you something like this, then what I can do, I can use a concept name called ODS, Output Delivery System, PDF. Okay, then file equal to, you just mention to store that particular location. Okay, which location you are trying to store? Imagine on my C drive, here D drive is there. There are plenty folders are there. Let me create a folder, one more for me. I'll try to create a folder in my new folder only. I'll try to keep it. In this particular folder, I want to store that particular PDF document. Then I can copy the path. How can I copy? Very simple. You come to this particular folder, the empty folder, click on this particular address bar so that automatically it will try to give me D:/new folder. That is a folder path I'm trying to get it here. Okay. So then I need to tell that to SAS to store this particular data, whatever the program I have written, the output, I want to store it into this location. Which location it is? I'm just trying to write it. C drive with new folder slash. You need to give a PDF name. What name you want to store this particular PDF when you are saving it? It can be any name. I will try to write it the name as a report. I'll try to write it. Okay. So report dot PDF, I'll try to mention it and give the semicolon. Then I'll try to write it here ODS. Okay. So then followed by PDF. Okay. Then close, because once the PDF is opened, we need to close it. That's it. I'm done. This piece of code, what we are trying to write it is, I'm done. See, I got it. The data, whatever client interested, I got that particular data as in the form of a PDF document where we saved here into this particular destination. See, report is a PDF you have created. You try to open it. See, right now it is opening as a Chrome, but it's a PDF document actually. Open with open like this also. This is a PDF document as you see. So this is the file, whatever the requirement is. People who are dead, having a cancer with sex and age at start, height, with all the people who are with age 60 above and all, I'm getting it. See, this is client data as the title, and thank you is the footnote I wanted. So that every report you can see that title and footnote, title and footnote, title and footnote, plus that required data also you will get it. So as a programmer, your job in real time, they will give a requirement to you. Okay, understanding the requirement first. That is your job of a programmer. They will try to give a data to you, because we are not here to enter the data into a database and all, because we are not a data entry operators. We are a programmers. Programmers always provided with a data. So the data can be any format. It can be Excel or it can be text file, or no matter what, we can write a program to import the data into SAS environment. Once that particular data is in, according to the specification document, that we call it as a spec. By looking into the specification document, we try to write a conditions. Now the question is, Naidu, we are at day one. How we get to know what is the concept of ODS? What is the concept of this particular title? What is this concept of footnote? What is this concept of options? What is this proc printer? What is this where? And what is this particular ODS? How can I get to know all this? I'm going to explain one complete 1.5 hour class on this particular ODS concept. One particular 1.5 hour class concept trying to talk about titles and different options what we have as a global options. I will cover in that particular concept. And again, this one also, it's another concept. I'm going to teach each and everything as a one concept, like, so it a complete detailed class. Right now, I try to give a simple program to show you what SAS programmer do. So this is what the job of a SAS programmer. Maybe client requires another thing is, okay, we wanted the same data, but right now what we are trying to represent it, I'm getting something like a PDF document. Sometimes client requirement is, I don't need the PDF. What they're asking me is, try to show me like a figure, like a graphical representation. How to get it? We can just try to write it proc, means it's a procedure. D chart, graphical chart, data equal to your data set name. May I know what is the data set name here according to your purpose? What client has given to you? What is your data set name here? Anyone?
Smoking history regarding.
So here the data set name is heart, right? Earlier I said that my data set is there in SAS help with the name of heart. So I need to mention that. Okay, the data requirement, I'll try to mention it. What they're asking is, you try to write a same where conditions here. They need a data, all the people who are dead and all. But what we want it one more, where, okay, V bar actually. V bar, vertical bar, 3D format. They need a graph based on the status column wise. Okay, so I have already filtered for do one thing. I'll remove it, this one for time being, because it will be get confused for you. Okay, vertical bar, status column wise, I want to just see the total data. In this data, how many are males and how many are females? Understand what I'm trying to do? Proc means it's a procedure. G chart means graphical chart. Data equal to SAS help.heart. V bar in a 3D format. When you try to execute it, run the program now. I'm done. See, the same graph I want to write it in a same data I want to write it in a pictorial representation format, even that is also I can generate it. Allow people around 3000 nearby 200 or something, dead people around 1900 nearby, you are getting it. So this is the data of people who are dead or alive wise. You want to generate as a report, you can generate it, or you can able to produce in the form of a table, you can produce it. And if you wanted to produce the data in the form of a figure, pictorial representation, even this also you can do. So as a programmer, what you get is always they'll give a what I can say that so they will give a requirement. As a programmer, your job, you need to write a code towards it to get that particular thing achieved according to the client requirement. So they may ask you to create a table, they may ask you to create a figure, they will give you the requirement. You need to write a program towards it to until achieving that. So that is your job as a programmer. Is this clear to you, everyone?
Yes.
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 Yes, sir.
Right? So now you understood what is SAS programming means, what we do as a programmer, and you got an idea, I hope. So I can see 23 members have joined. Few of them are lately joined. But yeah, so I hope everyone in the common understanding of this one. Okay, we write the programs here on the editor window. So according to this PowerPoint presentation of mine, you see what it is saying, write a new program. Yes, I have written a new program. Okay, so then saving that particular program file, how can I save whatever the code I have written on my desktop, right, on this particular program? I want to save it. Yeah, I can. So keep my cursor on the editor window, go to file, click on save as. I can save this particular file. Okay, so then go to your desktop at somewhere where it is. I'll try to save it in my C drive. I'll try to write it here. Okay, so new folder, I'm writing it C drive. I create any folder name. Okay, so practice or something like that. I'll try to write it. I'll try to create a folder in this one. When I'm writing it, you need to give a name for it. What you will keep this particular program to be saved for a future. I can save this file name can be anything according to the GPP, good programming practice. Try to give all the small case letters for your names. Okay, if you are giving capital letters also it will be saved, but GPP means there are certain rules you need to follow in organization level, that we call it as a good programming practices. So in that you need to give it so the name of that particular file. So mostly try to write a name according to the purpose of this file. So this is what I can say that survey data, or maybe this is a clinical data, something like that. You want to save this particular program name also a bit of similar to that name, so that when you come back after 3 months later, 4 months later, when you're looking into the program name, you should have to sense it. Okay, this program is using for that particular purpose. We have written in that particular scenario. If you could have written something called ABC, something like this, it won't make any sense to you for now and even for future also. Nobody understands it, what this particular program is doing, until unless they open this program and running it. They can't say anything, right? So your interest is make sure to write it, give it a nice name for it. Maybe this is a clinical data. You try to write it the program name as a clinical data. Okay, is the program name, you try to mention it. And when you are saving it, automatically it will be saved with .sas extension. What does that means to you? Any program you write in the editor, when you try to save it, it will be saved with the name of .sas is the extension of your SAS program file extension. So it is just saving it. So I'm just saving to my desktop. Okay, now let me just save it. That's it, I'm done. See, now I got it. Clinical data is just changed, and it is just stored there. Okay, what I'm saying is right now, what it is saying, writing a new program I have written and saving a SAS program files, I can do that. Access the edit and existing programs. What is that means to you? Just imagine. I close the SAS for today. Just imagine. I'm just closing the SAS for today. Done. I close my SAS. Tomorrow, when I try to open my SAS software again, go to your desktop destination. I have my SAS is here. Here, let me try to open, but nothing is inside. You just see, The code what I have written, everything is just closed. It won't get it anywhere. No. So you want to access that particular existing program of last time when I tried to, before I close it, I saved it some location, right? I want to access that again back. Then what I can do is, let me go to open program, then go to desktop. I think it's not saved in the desktop, which I know. So it is saved in my D drive. Then there are many files in it. So I think practice is the folder I have saved it. See, clinical data. It is automatically turning this particular file name with the running boy symbol like this, because my SAS is already installed in my computer. So automatically it is trying to just work like that. I'm just selecting that, click open. See, whatever the code I have written, I can open it. That's what this particular line is trying to talk about it. Okay. So what this line is saying is to me, I think it's got stuck. So here, so what happens, write new SAS programs. I have done that. Accessing, edit and existing program. Edit means what I can do. If I want to do certain changes, okay. So now imagine I'm interested to write or maybe edit a new program, or else I want to write a new program from here. I can write it. Okay, I just mentioned it a commenting line so that I can start writing new program from here. New program. I'm starting it here. So that what I can do, I can just give a enter. Okay, I can start writing it here, the new program. How to write any program after this? Imagine I want to add a new program to here. Whenever you want to write any program in SAS, just imagine you want to write any program, data, your data set name, then followed by your data set name, can be anything. Maybe imagine test is the data set name I'm trying to write it, semicolon. Semicolon is the statement is used for create that particular statement is completed. That means generally what we do in real time in the sense when you're writing any mails, we'll try to write a complete sentence and then we'll try to put a full stop. Full stop is trying to tell us that that particular sentence is finished there. It's the same way even in SAS, we try to write a data test and semicolon. It is trying to tell me that particular statement is completed. Then I can go for the next statement. So here, writing input statement. Input is the statement is used to create your column name. What is your column name? So the column names, you can write it anything. Let's say patient ID is one column and I need to maintain one column to another column with some space. Then only SAS can recognize that it is a new column. Otherwise, SAS will think that it's a combination of all the columns. So now I'm trying to write it a test and input PID and all. Why we are writing all these cases? Because I have already program already created yesterday. Just imagine I want to open that particular program and writing a new program in it without disturbing the old one, or you can disturb also. That's not a problem. How you can edit existing programs and how to write it, I'm trying to give an explanation. Okay, data test is your data set name and input statement patient ID is one column, age is another column, and then followed by gender is the another column. I'm trying to write it. Semicolon. That's it. I have done with writing a second statement. Now I can write a statement called here cards. You can write cards. What is trying to tell me? Patient ID value 1. Just imagine you didn't get the data from the client or something like that. You want to enter your own data. Generally, we never do it in real time. We never write card statement in real time at all. So we don't need to worry about it. But somehow, for your practice purpose, for your certification purpose, somebody asking you to create your data, how you write it, I'm going to explain this one right now. Patient ID is 1, age of that particular person. So maybe that patient is around 45 years. Gender of that person is male. Okay, I'll try to write it. Male or small letter, capital letter, it's not a problem at all. I'll try to write it. Another patient is 2, and the person is 78 years. The person is female. Another person is 3, maybe let's say 56 years. Male, I'm trying to write it. Give a enter, give the semicolon and run. See, I have run. I need to write it. RUN, run. So this is writing a simple program, very simple one. how to create a data set. If somebody asking how to create a data set, very simple. I'll start with a keyword called data, and after that my data set name, that can be anything. In the input statement, I'll try to mention my column names like PID, age and gender is the different columns. I'll try to write it. Then followed by the card statement, I'll try to write it. Here, I'll try telling my SAS proc means it's a procedure. Then I'm telling my SAS to print it. Print means I'm telling my SAS to print it and run. Print means it will print the output in output window. So you want to just check this. Somehow my mouse is not working. Okay. So now I want to print it. Select it and run. So now it is printing. Okay, patient ID 123, whatever I have given, I'm getting it in the output window. And age, I'm getting it 45, 78, and 56, I'm getting it. But gender, what happens? I don't know. Okay, gender is nothing but, okay. So here you need to understand one more. Why suddenly output came into picture? The reason is whenever you write a step called proc printer, it automatically prints output in output window only. Okay, so if I'm not writing this particular piece of code, I have written data onwards up to run the program, don't expect any output or anything in the output window. Because data onwards up to run statement, we call it as a data step. Writing a data step, creating your SAS data set, and that is the test is the data set will be created. Where it will be created, go to your Explorer window, libraries location, work library test data set is created, and that's it. So, but it won't print output in output window at all. And even when I'm running it, open this particular test data set then. So PID 123, okay. Age is 45, 70, 78, 56, okay. But gender is missing. Why gender is missing? SAS default can't able to read the character values of male and female. You're expecting this male and females to read. You need to mention that to SAS by just mentioning a dollar sign. When you give this, and it will try to read as a character data, and now you just see test is dataset created. You try to open it, and there you can see patient ID wise, age wise, gender wise data, you got it. So this is the new program. If you want it, you can get it. But earlier, the thing is, Naidu, when I'm not writing it, how you get to know that I need to give a dollar sign? Log is trying to tell me the issue is, it's clearly saying PID is working, age is working, but gender is missing or error it is giving it. So then I got to know, so there is an error in my this particular line of code. On the first line, we have an error. It's saying underscore n underscore is nothing but first line we have an error. Second line we have an error. Third line also we have an error. At where? On the gender variable wise. Gender variable wise values are missing here and here. By looking into the log, generally you get to know. Then you come back and see that and you will fix it. So this is a way of writing a simple program. See, whatever the code I have written yesterday, maybe before opening it, I just opened the same program and I have done some changes. You see, there is a small star mark you can see at the down. What this will say that there are some unsaved changes in your program. Yesterday, when I try to open to this one, there are some changes you have done, but those changes are not saved. If I give a control yes, it will automatically save that. That means all these changes now it's saved, even it will be there for a future. In this way, according to this one, you can, what I can say, you can write a new programs if you want it. You can access and edit existing programs if you want it. You can save this particular programs, yes, to a file, it is working. And one more is you can submit a SAS programs also. So what is that submitting means? Every time without informing you, I'm doing something here. What I'm doing, I'm selecting and then I'm just using this particular option. This is called submit. It is available only in the editor. What this submit will do is it is trying to tell to my SAS submitting of your program or maybe running of your program. So data test is your data set and PID, age and gender wise, if I run that, so I'm just running that particular program. Okay. So to run this particular program, there are three ways in SAS. One is I can just select this piece of code and execute here as run. It is one way. Another way is you can select this piece of code, click on F3 button from your keyboard. Maybe some of your laptops will not work with F3 directly. You need to use function with F3. You need to use the button called function with F3 on your keyboard. Once in single time, you need to press it, or else you need to type here in this particular search here itself you can try to type as a submit. Either of these options we can use it to run this particular program. There are three ways to submit your program. A running boy symbol, you can press on it, or else you can select the total file and then click on function with F3, or else you can type submit on this particular search and then I can enter it. See, even this way also the program will be get submitted. Either of these ways we can use it to running the program and saving the files. Everything we can just do with this one. So this is about a brief. Okay, so it's a brief about the editor window, how to write a program, how to save the program, how to open the existing program, how to edit it, and how to write a simple program also we have learned. Sorry, we have learned today. So this is all about today. I'll stop here. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to talk about so that what are the keyboard shortcuts we need to use in SAS, then followed by what are the other windows in SAS, then followed by primary windows in SAS. Then we'll just end up that particular day one class there. But still there is a lot of stories still remaining. So we'll just see. We learned today only just editor window, how to write a simple program, how to understand the concept of the logic, what client is trying to ask for it. As a programmer, what we do, that's what we have learned today. I'll stop this particular class for today and then I'll continue the remaining things in tomorrow's class. That's the reason why you see in my 91 AM folder also 22 folders only you can see folder structure wise. But how I can say it's a 45 hours of sessions, it's because it one particular PowerPoint presentation, sometimes it will try to take 2 hours or 2.5 hours, something like that. So it will be like a huge classes, I can say, within the same time. That's the reason why folder structure, folder wise less, but the content wise is more I'm trying to deliver.